Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Dr. Swarna, Assistant Professor of English for Mayan and PG College, MEERUT. Today we are going to explore one of the most powerful and moving novels in Indian English literature, that is A Train to Pakistan by Khushwant Singh. From the paper Literature in Films and Media Studies for the students of BA 6th semester. As A Train to Pakistan is basically a historical and partition novel which gives us emotional and powerful picture of how partition affected ordinary people and ordinary people's life, especially in rural areas or especially rural people. Many critics praise that book for depicting pain, confusion, violence that took place during that time without taking sides politically. Many scholars appreciate how Khushwant Singh uses real facts, real incidents, and real events in the story just because of his background as a journalist, which gives and which helps the reader to understand the seriousness of the partition. This makes the novel not just a story about partition, but a deeper look into human nature. In today's lecture, we will examine also the historical context of the partition, the author, the book, summary of this novel, characters in this novel, film or cinematic adaptations on this film, and its relevance in contemporary society. I hope by the end of this lecture, we will not only understand the book or the novel, but also understands its deepest message about communal harmony and human values. So let us begin the journey of this novel, A Train to Pakistan, with these lines. The story tells us what happened in the past, but literature like A Train to Pakistan tells us what it felt like. So now coming to the author first, that is Khushwant Singh. If we talk about his life and work, so he was born in 1915 in Haldi, now in Pakistan, educated in Delhi and Lahore, BA LLB, best known writer, critic, journalist, keen observer of the society, founder of editor of Yojana magazine, editor of Illustrated Weekly of India, Hindustan Times and National Herald. Author of several books like Delhi, Sex, Scotch and Scholarship, Men and Women in My Life, The Company of Women, Death at My Doorstep. His autobiographies are very, very famous, and some autobiographies are mentioned here. Truth, Love and Little Malice, History of the Sikhs, well-known translator also. So he was a renowned figure in Indian English literature. If we talk about his professional career and achievements, so he served as a member of parliament also from 1980 to 1986. He received various prestigious awards and achievements like Padam Bhushan in 1974, honored with the Honest Man of the Year in 2000, awarded Punjab Ratna in 2006, awarded the Padam Vibhushan in 2007, Sahitya Academy Fellowship in 2010, and Fellow of King's College London in 2014, and died on 20th March 2014 in New Delhi. So we can see that he received many prestigious awards and he was a renowned figure in Indian English literature, but he was also a social activist. Now coming to the novel, if we talk about the novel, so the novel, as I have already said, that this is basically a historical novel. In my previous video, I have discussed historical fiction in detail. This video is on the topic earlier trends in fiction. But in a nutshell, we can see that historical fiction tells us about people, facts, incidents, events that took place in history or in past. It means the facts, the setting are or is real, but the characters are fictional. So this kind of fiction is called historical fiction. And one of the best example of historical fiction is A Train to Pakistan, which was published in 1956. Actually, this novel is written with the author's Khushwant Singh's own experiences and observation of the people in Manomashra, visiting that village himself nearby Indo-Pak border. This novel is written in realistic tone by Khushwant Singh and in the third person omniscient narrative style. Actually, the whole story is centered in the fictional village that is Manomashra, where different peoples belonging to different religions lived peacefully and happily in a harmonious way. But their peace was disrupted by the political decisions and religious hatred. So, we will see as the story moves. So, if we talk about the structure of the novel, so the novel is divided into 4 sections or parts or chapters. Section 1, Dacoity. Section 2, Khalyug. Section 3, Manomashra. And Section 4, Karma. So, the novel is set during the summer of 1947 at the time of partition in a small fictional village that is Manomashra nearby Indo-Pak borders. Actually, in this village, Muslims, Sikhs, Hindu, people belonging to different religions lived peacefully and happily. And it can be viewed in the novel through the characters of Imam Baksh, Bhai Singh, Jagga and MEERUT. We will explain later after the slides all the characters. So what happens? This peace, this harmony, this brotherhood and this friendly relationship were disrupted by the trail, which is called in this novel Ghost Trail, because it is the symbolic representation of partition trauma. The train is not only a simple train, it is the ghost train which was carrying dead bodies of Sikhs from Pakistan. And this incident creates chaos in the minds and in the hearts of the people in Manomashra, where the people belonging to all the religions or different religions lived peacefully in communal harmony. So this communal harmony is disrupted by the and turns into communal violence. How? As we can see that, and we can notice in the novel that Jagga and Iqbal Singh or Noor. We will take the examples of all the main characters here. When the novel opens up with the murder of a moneylender, Lala Ram Lal Singh, who was murdered by Mali and his gang. But the police arrested Jagga, a local dacoit in the village, and Iqbal Singh, who was a social worker and was a very good person in the novel. Both are arrested by the police. Hukam Chand, being the magistrate of the village, knows each and everything fully and knows the true culprit of this murder. Even then, he punished them, Jagga and Iqbal. But at the end of this novel, when he knows about the plan to attack the train, he released them. Actually, this incident, the ghost train arrives with dead bodies. And again, the incident, there was more bodies when the river Satluj was filled with dead bodies. This triggers the hatred in the heart of the people in Manobaj. And an important character also, a boy, at the end arrives in the village and he triggers the people of Manomajra to take revenge. He said the Muslims are the ones who killed Sikh from Pakistan. So this is our duty. This is the duty of all the Sikhs that we should take revenge and we should kill Muslims. So this is the plan made by this boy and his volunteers convinced all the villagers to take revenge and to participate in this plan. On the other hand, government ordered to relocate all the Muslims to a refugee camp in Chandan Nagar, from where the Muslims are taken to Pakistan by train. When Sikhs, especially Sikhs community and the boy and his volunteer know about this plan, they planned to attack the train because of hatred in the heart of the people, because of the murders by Muslims to Sikhs. This creates a conflict, chaos in the mind of the people in Manoj. And they were determined to take revenge. But when Hukam Chand knows their plan, he released Jagga and Iqbal. After releasing from the jail, Jagga and Iqbal thought about to save the lives of the people in the train. Iqbal had no idea to protect the lives of the people in the train, but Jagga sacrificed his life to save the lives of the people in the train, especially his beloved Noora. Because at the end, when Hukam Chand knows that his beloved Hasina is also in that train, so he released Jagga and Iqbal. So through the story, which is divided into the 4 sections, we can notice here that this communal harmony of that village, disrupted by fear, violence, rumors, or political pressure or political forces beyond the control of common people. And the novel also highlights the theme of love, sacrifice, and harmony. And through the story, we can notice here the character of Jagga, who turns into a selfless hero from a local criminal, reminding us the message that even the darkest time, humanity can prevail. So this can be observed through the characters of Jagga, Nooran, Iqbal Singh especially. Now, coming to the characters, I have discussed here only the major characters in the novel. These characters are playing an important role here to the development of the plot and to the development of the characters. The predominant characters in the novel are Jigar Singh of Jagga. A local badmash turns into a hero at the end of the novel. As I have told you the story, that at the end, how these characters save the lives of the people in the train just because of humanity or to save his love. The second character is here Nooran, a Muslim girl who was in love with Jagga, and Jagga falls in love with Nooran. Hukam Chand, the magistrate of the village. At the starting of the novel, Hukam Chand was not so much good character, but at the end of the novel, Hukam Chand plays an important role to reach the story to the end. Next character is Bhai Meet Singh, priest of the Sikh temple, and Imam Baksh, head of the Muslims mosque. So through these two characters, we can notice or we can observe that how the religious harmony exists in this village through these two characters belonging to different religions. Now coming to the key plot points here. When the story moves, these key plot points you can notice in the story, which are important to the development of the plot in the novel. First one is initial harmony. When the novel is opening up, you can notice that in that fictional village, Mano Majra, Sikhs, Muslims or Hindu lived in a harmonious way, very peacefully, and who were having brotherhood to each other or to each other relation. Next is rising tension. But the tension rise in the novel with the arrival of the ghost train, because this ghost train is one of the important aspects to spread religious hatred in the mind and heart of the people in that village. And through this train, Malli and his gang incites hatred among the people of that village. Next important point is magistrate decision. At the end of the novel, to protect the lives of the people, Magistrate Hukam Chand orders to relocate all the Muslims to the refugee camp in Chandannagar by the political forces. A planned attack. When volunteers or the villagers who are being of hatred plan to attack that train where his own people belonging to the same village, and for those people they are having a lot of love, a lot of affection, but even then they were ready to attack the train. But a final sacrifice here, because when they plan to subdue the train with the help of the rope across the bridge, Jagga, here a local badmash in the village, tried his best to cut that rope. And when it fails, he sacrificed his life. And the train moves over his body. But the lives of the people in the train, particularly his beloved Nooran and Hasina, and all the hundreds of people are there in the train, were saved. And his sacrifice was successful. And giving us the message that even the darkest or toughest time, love, harmony, sacrifice, humanity still exist. Now, coming to the themes of this novel, one of the most and prominent theme is partition. As we know that the setting of this novel is during the summer of 1947 at the time of partition. And this depicts beautifully partition trauma. And the whole story moves around the pain, the suffering, and the love, affection, harmony of the people during that time. And these two lines, if possible, get the Muslims to go out peacefully. There must be no killing, just peaceful evacuation. Explain the situation of Mano Mashra during the partition of Hindu and India and Muslims, Pakistan. And the ending of the novel are evacuating to a refugee camp in Chandanagar, and from there they are moved to Pakistan by train peacefully, smoothly. The theme of partition in the novel, A Train to Pakistan, is also analyzed through symbols. As this village, Mano Mashra, is closely linked or is known for its railway stations, and the lives of the people in this village are closely linked with this train. But the peace and the lives of the train are turned into a violence and in confusion or in chaos. Second theme is religious relationships. Here we can notice here through the characters of Imam Baksh and Bhai Meer Singh that people belonging to different religions, whether Hindu, Muslims or Sikh, they lived peacefully and happily, and they are respecting each other, and there is a mutual respect to each other religion. Nobody's think about that this person, especially particularly this person belongs to this religion and this person belongs to this religion. All the peoples lived in a very harmonious way, as you can notice in the story. Power and corruption. The next theme is power and corruption. In the starting of the novel, we can say that the police arrested Jagga and Iqbal Singh with a false murder case of that money lender. So they misuse Hakam Chand and the sub-inspector. They were misusing their power, not only to protect the lives of the people, but to misuse that power and to create confusion in the mind of or to save his duty. Next is humanity and chaos. At the end of the novel, we can observe that the sacrifice of Jagga to save his beloved life and the lives of hundreds of people in the train was successful due to humanity, love, tolerance, etc. Because in today's world, whether we are too much modernized, but the humanity, the theme of humanity, love, sacrifice still exist. Now come to the adaptation part of this novel. If we talk about cinematic adaptation of Train to Pakistan, so Train to Pakistan is 1998 Indian Hindi film adapted from Khushwant Singh's 1956 novel by the same name, by the same title, set in the partition of India of 1947 and directed by Pamela Rooks. And the cast are here Mohan as Hukam Chand and Nirmal Pandey as Jagga, Ranjit Kapoor as Iqbal, Smriti Mishra as Nooran, Divya Datta as Hasina, and Mangal Dhillon as a sub-inspector. And when we are focusing on the cinematic adaptations, films and media studies of literatures, so we will have to focus on these aspects: the narrative structure and pacing of the movie, a character portrayal and development, and visual cinematic elements, and dialogues and language. And we can surely say that with the help of these aspects, these auditory and visual elements, and with the help of these science and syntax and film and media studies, the novel is more realistic and more emotional, and which helps to motivate or to incite or to provoke the emotions into the mind of the audiences. As we come to the end of this session, so one of the most important part is here. So what this particular novel, A Train to Pakistan, teaches us, it helps us, it forces us to think about that idea, that what divides us, and importantly, what brings together. Because in today's world, where conflict and division still exist, the meaning of, or the message, the deep message of this novel is more meaningful during the time of religious hatred. And we can say that this novel focuses on the reflection of partition tragedy, as we can say, or we can observe through the setting of the novel. Human suffering and emotional reality. In this novel, the author portrays human suffering, their pain of displacement, and they were suffering due to the religious hatred, due to the religious or due to the political decisions here, and breakdown of communal harmony, how this communal harmony turns into a communal violence due to the ghost train. Violence as product of circumstances. We can say that violence is created not naturally, but it is created with situations and with bad circumstances. Message of communal harmony and relevance in contemporary society. So if we talk about the message, deepest message or moral message in this particular novel, so we can say that A Train to Pakistan, not just a story of partition, it is a timeless lesson in humanity, or it is about people. It teaches us, even the time of hate and fear, kindness, love, and bravery still exist. That gives us hope. So with these, that is all about my lecture. And thanks one and all for patient listening. And bye-bye to all of you, and till the next video and the next talk.